Welcome to TS Diddle Reacts. We have some triggering videos today, and we're basically getting through those shadow bans. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna go through the wall, and they won't be able to stop us. Man, oh man. I want you to stay with me to the end. I have some surprises for you. Thank you for joining me. Let's get into the video.
It's really real? Did y'all hear about that Germany McDonald's that was serving human meat for 7 months? And nobody noticed until an employee had found the wedding ring was engraved into one of the meats. Manager wanted to cut costs so he could make a better profit. And they started purchasing their meat wholesale from a local meat supplier. Now this meat supplier was way cheaper for them. It made sense. So this one day, 19-year-old Emma, she's an employee there. She was preparing burgers, right? She found something hard in one of the burgers, and when she pulled it out, it was a wedding ring. It was engraved, "Forever yours, Anna, 2018. Now she told the manager, and he immediately called the police. Police does an investigation, and come to find out, guess what, y'all? It was fucking human meat. Local meat supplier that they switched over to was in business with a corrupt funeral home owner. Nah, y'all, that owner literally was selling him bodies? The fuck? Not only that though, y'all, that local meat supplier was not only just taking funeral home bodies. He also was taking homeless people off the street who didn't have people checking in on them. Now, after they did the investigation and they discovered it was 70% beef and 30% human. When the police raided the meat supplier spot, y'all, they found so much nasty shit in there. Human flesh. They found heads, found thighs, found shit that was mixed in with meat. Nah, y'all, they saying that he had a whole fucking big tubs of penises and he was using them for nuggets. Nah, dawg, this just nasty. Like, y'all still gonna let y'all kids eat this shit, I bet. It did let the customers know what they have been eating. Over 2,400 people been eating human flesh and human meat. How many bodies you think you ate out your life? Probably about like 34 years. I would say like, like 5 bodies. All that damn Coney Island I've been eating. Not only that though, y'all, sales had went up 40% more when they was eating human. They liked it. They loved it. They say they want that meat back. The fuck? That McDonald's is permanent, shut down now. And everybody went to jail. Lock their ass up. Even with this information, y'all still about to go get y'all kids that food. Weirdo.
Man, what is this, man?
And I prayed about it, and I thought, I'm not missing that dedication in Jerusalem. Without the airplane that we have, that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Question then, what? Okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons, because people are very concerned about that comment.
Give me a chance here, Inside Edition. I love your eyes. And here's what happened. We flew in 21 days, 70 hours, 40,000 miles, touched 5 continents, and preached face to face, personally, with 125,000 people.
Do you ever use your private jets to go visit your vacation homes, for example?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
Oh, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
But I've been shut out. You know, some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club. So I have to go places for one that I'm welcome, and where I can voice my opinion without somebody, saying I'm a bad person and that they never want to have me on their platform again.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah. You know,
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central. You were successful at a young age. You have dignity. You say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know. I don't know what that's
on Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's. Really
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right-winger.
No.
No? No. You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, you know, just want to do right by the people, you know. So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, you know, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
Okay, it seems to me that possibly Oprah has lost touch with the people, and she is only in favor of things that please her. That's sad. That's sad to think about, and it's sad to say. Yeah, people don't like people who think independently. They prefer groupthink, collection of folks all thinking the same thing or acting as if they think the same thing in order not to make waves. And especially if it fits the agenda of the person that they are trying to please. That sounds like something that we see just about every day on X or in the house that is white, that the people supposedly run the government and the country. Wow. Everybody has to think what they think, or they get in trouble. I do not fit into that bubble, and that's why I'm sitting at home trying to make a living on my own, because I can't do it. I cannot do or say or think what somebody else wants me to do, say, or think, because I just can't follow that. But there are anomalies in this world, people who have to believe in something, and they move on from there. I think those are the truest people. Yeah. No groupthink over here. Ice Cube, keep up the good work. Proud of you. Came out of South Central and have made big things, positive things. I appreciate that. Thank you.
3i Atlas has a pretty big update. Yesterday, a NASA employee dropped this, and I quote, "If you don't get me back to work, I'm going to release everything I know about the interstellar object," end quote. Now, unfortunately, this employee was found passed away in his apartment last week, and the coroner said it was due to self-inflicted injuries, and those being 3 gunshot wounds to the back. Now, the interstellar object is moving through space at the speed of approximately Mach Jesus and should be arriving to Earth within the next month or 3. Now, whenever it gets here, it will be approximately 26 miles or 286 million kilometers away. I don't know, I'm not good with conversions, but one thing I do know about it is it's made mostly of nickel and very little iron. And what that tells me is a lot that I don't understand because I'm not really a biologist. Now, if you look at this through your home telescope, you most likely won't see anything. However, the new S26 Ultras have been said to capture it in vivid details. You just have to aim it at the Aquarius star system and leave your phone on record for approximately 3 months. Now, if you made it this far in the video and you're in the middle of leaving me a long comment telling me how absolutely ridiculous and stupid I am, well, good on you, and you absolutely should call me out because I am full of shit. But I thought this would be a fun video to make, and you know what, at least I'm not leading everybody on. And with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Y'all, who the fuck is this? This Oprah? Ain't no fucking way this is Oprah. Last time I checked, Oprah was looking like this. How the fuck did she go from this to this? You about to have people saying, no, bruh, this is AI. Fool, this not AI. This is a real fucking picture, y'all. First she was Kris Jenner. Now it's Oprah. These celebrities are turning back the clock. But only if you knew how they turn back the clock. People think it's as simple as getting cosmetics. It's not always that, y'all. This shit goes deeper. Look it up.
Because you're an illegal and you know what? You don't live in Flower Mound and you're door dashing, I can get in your face too. Let me see your driver's license.
To police?
Huh?
Found her. We found her. And when people come and say like, oh, I think this is the person and submit it, I then have to like confirm it's the person. And there's a few ways I like that make me feel confident. Like if someone has a very distinctive mole or if someone has very distinctive tattoos or like the jewelry they were wearing in the video is also the jewelry they have in the picture on their Facebook. In this case, though, it was another way that I really like, which is confirmation by family member, in this case, her daughter. Now, I'm not going to out her daughter because her daughter had nothing to do with this and wants nothing to do with this, and understandably so. But she did make a couple posts I'll share with you. Hello, all. As I'm sure most of you have seen, the horrific video of my mother harassing an innocent civilian sitting in her car. I have been flooded with comments and messages and wanted to address this as fast as possible. I would like to start off by sincerely apologizing to the woman for having to experience this and for the public for having to watch this. I'm completely and utterly embarrassed and saddened by my mother's actions and do not condone or support this kind of behavior at all. As a matter of fact, my mother and I have not had a relationship or been on speaking terms for quite a while due to this type of behavior, aggression, and her racism towards my Hispanic boyfriend. I wish to not be associated with her or this video in any way. And I respect that. That's why I'm keeping her name out of it. If you see someone that's supposed to be your daughter, don't go after her. She had nothing to do with this, and she's equally disgusted. That being said, Tanya Chadwell, everybody. That's the woman. I hear that her Facebook is getting blown up. People like this, I mean, she has hate so much that she even hates the person her daughter has chosen to love. And that is, you're not going to send her a mean message and change her mind on that. It's just everyone in her life should know that she really is this kind of awful person, and she should have to walk around with that shame. But to end this on a slightly more positive note, here's a montage of all the times that she said, you know what?
You know what? You know what?
Okay. The pink stuff, at first I thought it was ice cream, and then I thought it was some kind of art project, and then at the end of the day, I knew I didn't like bologna hot dogs from an early age. And I'm always shocked when I see people eating that stuff. And I'm starting to not trust, the turkey slices from the deli. Because it comes in a big round ball, and you wonder, how did it get like that? Obviously, it came in some kind of pudding container and was heated up and turned into a skinned meat, some kind of concoction. Enjoy your meal, people. But I'm not doing that. It's nasty. Back to the video.
Oh, we're definitely in a new timeline, y'all. We are definitely in a new timeline, and the ancestors are showing out because the replica of the Christopher Columbus ship that sits off the coast of Mexico just sank today. And what's crazy is Mexico has been experiencing some extensive flooding due to some severe rainfall for the past couple of days. I made a video about that, y'all, and this right here just happened just a few days after. Now, I'm not saying this has to do with the flooding that happened in Mexico, but something is happening. We told y'all all these portals that are opening, these are the ancestors that are coming through and removing these anchors. This is not just energy. Nature is taking its lick back. These portals are opening up every day, and the ancestors are coming through and removing these anchors that have been weighing down our spirits in this third dimension. And check this out. Now look at this, y'all. What is the coincidence, right? The boat sank in Mexico, and then you have this indigenous man in the Bahamas removing this Christopher Columbus statue that has been erected there for quite some time, just to remind people of the colonization that's taking place throughout the Caribbean. Yes, take it down. The shift is here. Now, I don't promote violence, but this right here is literally a reminder of us being colonized by these so-called colonizers, and this right here doesn't help us in elevating our consciousness or awareness or anything like that. So they need to be removed off this plane. But do y'all feel that shift in the air? Because I do, and it's only going to intensify. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about this video. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon. By the way, that was not in the speech, as you probably know. But I happen to like this gentleman right over here, and it just seems to make so much sense. You know, whether we like it or not, this has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. This has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. And cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that? All right, enough controversy for the day, right? It's actually, I don't think it's very controversial. So, you know, I mean, I see so popular. You are a very popular man. You know why? Because you know how to win.
You remember that bro that went to Mooley Point and found those unnatural cut blocks in the ground? Those Nephilim blocks. Well, bro went back and found some more stuff. Look at this. Look at that. Y'all still think this is natural. Look at that angle. Look at that angle. You think that's natural? Come on, man. Look how sharp those angles are. You could slice your hand open with that. Look at that angle. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. This is not natural. This is a quarry. This is a Nephilim Titan quarry. Not a Nephilim giant. Because there's Nephilim giants and titans. Look at those blocks, man. Yeah, well, this is the new stuff he found. Look at these. These look like bricks. Or they could be dragon scales. Some people in the other video were saying this is dragon scales. This is a huge petrified, you know, deceased animal. Now, this looks cut to me. This looks cut.
So then you see certain whistleblowers coming out saying they're using Enochian texts to channel different beings. I believe when they used to sell Ouija boards at Walmart as a kid, as a toy for children.
Put a Ouija board on the screen.
They used to sell Ouija boards in stores as a child's toy. All of these beings always want some type of child sacrifice, because if you look into ancient texts, ancient cultures, if they were indeed influenced by non-human intelligences, those non-human intelligences demanded child sacrifice.
I love it when he talks. He's very knowledgeable, but he slaughters some words, but he's very knowledgeable, and he says a lot of deep thoughts, things to make you think. If you hear crunching in the background, I'm puppy sitting my G puppy. So She eats a lot and she drinks a lot, and she just won't stop. So she's so cute, small. Anyway, back to the video.
So humans traveled to an unknown planet called Serpo to learn from aliens.
Yeah, 12 people.
And they kept it hidden?
Oh yeah, it was a classified mission by the U.S. government. In 1965, 12 American soldiers boarded an alien spacecraft and left Earth on a 10-month journey to Serpo, a planet in the Zeta Reticuli star system.
A whole new world.
Yes. Serpo was different, to say the least. These beings, the Ebens they were called, were humanoid in shape, but not quite like us. Larger eyes, and get this, they used telepathy for communication. The humans didn't go there for just tourism. They went to study, to dive deep into Eben technology, their advanced spacecraft, and even their medical techniques. You see, these Ebens had tech that could change everything back here on Earth. Imagine learning propulsion systems, energy sources we can't even dream of, and medical knowledge that could rewrite our science books.
And you said they spent 13 years.
Exactly. They spent 13 years on Serpo, observing, analyzing, and absorbing Eben knowledge. Their aircraft alone. Imagine something that could jump between star systems without a hitch, and their energy technology, clean, limitless, far beyond anything we have. And get this, the Ebens could even heal in ways that seem like magic to us. They shared it all. But, out of the 12, only 8 returned. 2 died on Serpo, and 2 chose to stay behind, to keep learning and living among the Ebens. The ones who returned, they brought back insights that could have changed humanity's future, but were buried, hidden by the government. Those who returned, they lived out their days under new identities, forbidden from sharing any of it.
In Japan, they invented this jelly water. It looks like a clear block of jelly, but is made almost entirely of water. Instead of drinking, you slice it into cubes and eat it. It's a refreshing way to enjoy water, almost like eating your drink.
He is the tallest girl in the world, standing over 8 feet tall. Next to her, even a 6-foot man looks like a little kid. She can grab a basketball from the hoop without even jumping. And people who are 5 feet tall can literally walk under her legs. But the most shocking part, she has an older brother who's even taller than her.
Imagine making $60,000 in one night, thinking you could spend it all and forgetting to set aside money for the IRS. That's exactly what UFC bantamweight champion Merab recently admitted in a podcast.
I don't even know that I have to pay taxes on it.
This sounds wild, but this actually happens to a lot of freelancers, Uber drivers, sales reps, and any 1099 workers. You get a big payment, you feel like you're rich until the IRS comes knocking at your door. So, this is just a reminder that if you work for yourself, you have to think like a business. The smartest thing you can do is to create a second bank account and literally call it the tax account. So every time you get paid, move about 25 to 30% of that money into that bank account. Just pretend like it's not even yours. That way, when the IRS comes knocking, you're ready and you don't have any surprises. Merab learned the hard way, but you don't have to. So always make sure that you set aside money for the IRS.
The Eye of the Earth in Croatia is a breathtaking 150-meter deep natural karst spring. It is partially unexplored, and although divers have reached 120 meters, they haven't hit rock bottom. Its stunning blue-green waters and mysterious depths make it a true natural wonder.
Okay, regarding that tax situation, it would be so helpful if our school systems would teach us how to manage money early in life. I probably would have done the same thing he did. Spend the money. I got money, yay, I'm gonna spend it. But first off, our tax is so high. I see potholes everywhere. I see uncut grass. I see buildings falling apart. Oh my goodness, I live in St. Louis. That tornado zone, it's still completely just horrific looking. There's certain parts of town that are neglected. And there was a video that I've seen recently. Someone was documenting St. Louis, and they showed a red line area where on this side of the street is where the rich people live. And honest to goodness, on the other side of the street is the neglected area. It's insane. So why are we spending so much tax money? And the deepest part of the tax money hits us the hardest. The people who are possibly middle class or lower. And they take so much out of our income that we can't afford to live after that. So if we get a little money, we're not automatically thinking we got to give most of it away immediately. And then we still have to live in slum. What kind of sense does that make? Whereas the top, or not top, the 1%ers, they get money back. What sense does that make? How much money do you need to survive? Oh, you have luxury this, luxury that. You're flying in planes that somebody just hands to you. And I'm looking for food. What sense does this make? It's a tale of history that the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and somebody's not going to the good place. So you're like because you enjoyed this, and we'll reap our rewards when we meet our savior from all this nonsense. Because you're starving us. This is not let them eat cake situation. This is you want all my money from electricity, gas, sewer, water. Yeah, I gotta pay for water that comes. It's naturally God gives it to us. You're taking all the seeds out of the food, so I can't grow my own foods. I gotta pay you for everything, and then I have nothing. I have less than nothing at the end of the pay period. The chances are you're gonna take away from me anyway because I don't need a job. You give the job to somebody else who you think that needs it. I got kids to feed, and some of them they might be grown, but they still live at home. And you're telling me what I can afford? Nothing. And you let something to file run this place. I don't know that man. That person. That entity. It's not, I'm just saying, it's not right. God hear us. Amen. Back to the video.
37 years after the show, one of the cast members is completely broke while the others are worth millions. Obviously, the Olsen twins ended up being by far the most successful. They each have a net worth of $250 million. Aunt Becky ended up going to prison, but since her husband's filthy rich, it really didn't have any impact on her. She's still worth $80 million. Danny ended up aging like Edward Furlong, which rough, but he was worth $60 million at the time of his death. Somehow John Stamos got even more handsome throughout the years. He's worth $20 million as well. After that, you have DJ, ended up having a somewhat successful career and married an NHL player. She's worth $14 million. Steve definitely has the look of someone who peaked in high school, but he ended up having a pretty successful career and he's worth $6 million. Unfortunately, Joey just announced that he was diagnosed with cancer. He has had a decently successful career, though, and a net worth of $5 million. You feel bad for Kimmy. She was just forever pigeonholed into this role, never really worked again. She's only worth about $2 million. And finally, you have Stephanie, who made over $15 million in her career, but after 3 divorces, a bankruptcy, and a time in rehab, she's pretty broke at this point at only $300,000. Kevin from Home Alone has had an absolutely insane life. He started acting at just 4 years old, but had his first major breakout role in Home Alone when he was 10 years old. Despite this movie being a huge success, he was only paid $100,000 for the role and didn't receive any residuals. However, by the time the sequel came around, he was demanding a lot more money and got $4.5 million for Home Alone 2. He started a bunch of other movies before retiring from acting at the age of 14. At the age of 15, he was fearful that his parents were going to waste all of his money, so he emancipated himself and removed their names from all of his accounts. When he turned 18, he was brought into a room and handed a slip of paper showing that he was worth $15 million. This is where the trouble started, as a few years later he was arrested for drug possession. And then in 2012, this photo came out with the rumor that he was doing $6,000 worth of hard drugs every month. To this day, he claims he never had to go to rehab for drugs. He's currently dating Brenda Song. They have a kid, and at this point, he has a net worth of $18 million.
The Queen Mary allegedly had closed this room off for 30 years because of weird deaths, people taking their own life, all those crazy things. And then they reopened it. So the first week it opened, we went in. Probably 8 hours of just waiting around, trying to get something to happen. And then we decided, okay, well, I guess it didn't work. We're about to leave. And then one of our roommates was like, okay, how about we just try off camera, just by ourselves? When we turned off our cameras and sat there really, really focused, that's when we started hearing everything. The 5 of us sat alone and asked questions and got a response every single time. One knock being yes, multiple knocks being no. And we'd try to trick it. We'd ask, is there one of you? No. Okay. Is there multiple of you? Yes. We'd get confirming answers multiple times.
If you drink coffee and then you have to pee an hour later, it's because if you were to drink moldy coffee, the mold that's found almost universally in American coffee is called OTA. OTA is a specific toxin for the kidneys and bladder, and the body is diluting the toxin and it's giving you a signal to pee. If you drink coffee that doesn't have mold in it, you don't have to pee afterwards.
Over the city, looking down on Washington, D.C., you'll see there are 2 main boulevards culminating in a pyramid. And just at the very top of the pyramid is a street cutting it off. And then within the triangle at the top, where the eye on the dollar bill is the Capitol. And the Capitol building sits there. It's a pyramid. Then it has the Cleopatra's Needle, which is a Washington monument. And the river, the long riverway, the long waterway is called the River Styx, which is where Pharaoh went into heaven on the River Styx. It is all laid out in Masonic symbolism, and the 5-pointed star, which is a pentagram, has always been used. Satan worship, satanic worship, the 5-pointed pentagram, and if you take the arms off of a pentagram, you have a pentagon. And the United States Pentagon is sitting exactly due north, aiming due north at the North Star Thuban, which is drawing power, according to the ancient Egyptians, for the god of war.
Just take a road map of Washington, D.C. Just take a look at it from the air, and you'll see what appears to be the goat of Mendez. And the goat of Mendez,
which is a symbol in Freemasonry. Right. It's a symbol. It's a demonic symbol within the Freemasonic.
You see the goat and the horns and the whole thing. The whole city is laid out like that. It's all over.
So what we're basically saying here is that there is nothing happening by chance.
Wow. Literally, the United States GOVRNE, the GOV situation is run by the devil. Are you serious? I mean, they literally designed it to be run by the goat itself. How awful. How awful. How awful. Awful. But obviously, whoever's planning all this nonsense got too much time on their hands. Sitting there just thinking about bad stuff to do. Awful. Back to the video. Goodness gracious, can you imagine how stressful it is to do this? And I'm still trying to get viewers. I'm bringing you information. Did you ever think of that? Did you know that? When you're down on ground level, are you seeing all these? Come on, man. Come to the channel, watch the stuff, hit that like and the subscribe button so you can get this information. It's hard gathering all this stuff for y'all. Come on. Join the team. Back to the video.
In 1955, the CIA dosed an entire black neighborhood in St. Louis with radioactive particles. Not conspiracy theory, declassified fact. They told residents they were testing a smokescreen to protect against Russian attacks. Patriotic, right? But documents released in the 90s revealed the truth. The Army was studying radiation dispersal patterns, and they specifically chose low-income black communities. Pregnant women, children. The cancer rates skyrocketed. Birth defects off the charts. The government's response when confronted? The levels were safe. But they won't release the full documents. Sections are still redacted. In 2024, here's what keeps me up. This happened in St. Louis, but the project was called Large Area Coverage. Large area. How many other cities? How many other neighborhoods they thought no one would care about? So ask yourself, if they admitted to this after 40 years, what are they doing right now that we won't know about until 2065?
And autism. Not saying that it's related to that, but I never heard of autism before everybody's child started was autistic. It all happened all at once. Predictive programming. Rain Man came out maybe, 10 years before, but every household has someone who's autistic. Every family has someone who is autistic. Wow. Okay, yeah. What is it? They're going to tell the truth in 40 years? But, and then on occasion they say, yes, it was this. And then they retract that. It's not right. It affects deeply what the powers, the ones who think they have power. Because they don't. Because God got power. So he'll fix all it. He'll fix them. But the ones who believe that they have power. Man. Yeah, I'm going to double back. All that fake meat and fake food and all that GMO and all that stuff. When that happens, I wonder if the people who work in those factories or those scientists who come up with all this dumb stuff to do, I wonder if they eat that crap. What is wrong with you people? And I think I know somebody who works in that field who's a higher up. Shame on you. Backing up. Shame on you. You know who you are. Intelligent, but devious, obviously. Come on, man. Back to that video.
Biblical prophecies are literally unfolding before our eyes, and nobody's talking about it. We're witnessing events that ancient texts predicted thousands of years ago, happening simultaneously for the first time in human history. Israel became a nation again in 1948 after nearly 2,000 years, exactly as prophesied. Natural disasters are increasing exponentially. We've had record-breaking earthquakes, unprecedented wildfires, and extreme weather patterns that scientists can't fully explain. The technology for a one-world currency and surveillance system now exists through digital payments and AI monitoring. Wars and rumors of wars are everywhere you look. Russia and Ukraine, tensions in the Middle East, China threatening Taiwan. Knowledge is increasing at an impossible rate, with AI advancing faster than we can comprehend. Even the recent solar eclipses forming an X pattern over America align with biblical signs. People are becoming more selfish, lovers of money and abandoning traditional values, just as scripture warned. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place so perfectly, it's almost impossible to ignore. Whether you believe or not, you have to admit the timing is incredibly suspicious. Maybe it's time we start paying attention to what's really happening around us.
The morning shed trend has 50 million views, and girls are literally taping their mouths shut to wake up prettier. I'm not kidding. Women are going to bed looking like they're prepping for surgery with chin straps, night masks, mouth tape, and devices I can't even pronounce. They call it getting uglier to wake up hotter, and TikTok is obsessed. The routine starts with slugging your face in petroleum jelly. Then comes the mouth tape to supposedly improve your jawline overnight. Add a chin strap to prevent double chins, throw on a silk bonnet, and finish with those weird under-eye patches. Some girls are even wearing face-lifting devices that look like torture equipment. The before and after videos are everywhere. Girls waking up with glass skin, snatched jawlines, and zero puffiness. But dermatologists are warning this could actually damage your skin barrier and cause irritation. The mouth tape especially concerns medical professionals because it can restrict breathing. Is this just another social media trend that's making us believe we need to fix ourselves while we sleep? Or is there actually science behind it? The comments are split between "this changed my life" and "this is absolutely unhinged." Would you try sleeping like this every night just to wake up looking slightly more put together?
There used to be a substance on the periodic table that could power the world without wires, without fuel, and without pollution, and it's called ether. Ether was removed off the periodic table, but the ancient builders of Tartaria and before knew how to harness it to build things, and you can harness it today. Ether was believed to be the invisible energy in the air, and mainstream science has accepted it and used it to explain how light traveled. Up until the 1800s, after the Michelson-Morley experiment, they claimed that they couldn't detect it. But the reason why I believe they took it away is because ether is extremely valuable and allows you to have free energy. Physical phenomena that depends on ether are cymatics, like right here, electrostatics, magnetism, and electricity. Ether is a substance that God created. Check this out. So what do you guys think so far? Why do you think the mainstream doesn't use ether for everything? And it turns out that zero-point energy devices like magnetic vortex engines and free energy coils harness ether. And this right here is a guy creating a light with just coils and magnets. He harnesses the ether to light a light bulb. You'll see. He just has his wires. He plugs it right in. It's not plugged into a wall or anything. You can scroll back if you need to relook at it. This is just sitting on a table, and he harnesses the ether, and it's lighting up right there. So why are we paying for gas? Why are we paying for electricity from the electric grid again, when you can just make this on a large scale to power your house, power your car? Why are we paying that? And the reason why they're not going to make this en masse is because it would collapse trillion-dollar industries. It would make you have more money. You would have more money in your pockets. The Tartarians used that. The Tartarian structures with those antenna coils or the antennas at the top of those buildings that harness the ether. There was free, clean energy everywhere. They can't charge you for air, so that's why they want you to rely on fuel, rely on the power grid, so they can keep you under control. What do you guys think? What else do you think the government is hiding that would benefit all of us? And if you like this type of content, go ahead and like, comment, and share, and follow for more.
It would seem with Donald Trump winning re-election, it made a bunch of people feel like now they can write checks and Donald Trump will cash them, and that's not how that works. Allow me to give you an example. This lovely person is Jasmine Crockett. She's a representative from the state of Texas. Recently, she found that she had some message requests on one of her social media profiles. On December 5th of last year, this person opened with, "F you, racist C-word," and she had that like auto reply set up, so it replied to them. And the very next day, December 6th, they said, "F you, nasty racist C-word." And then I guess they got upset that she didn't respond. So a month later, on January 7th, they said, "You will get yours, racist," followed by, "Your time is coming, C-word." And then on January 9th, when they hadn't heard back, they followed up with, "Racist C-word will get what you deserve." And again, the automatic response replied to them, to which he said, "Racist, racist, 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 racist." Then followed that with, "Can you get any dumb racist C-word?" Then there was a response. I'm not sure if someone on her staff responded to this or if this was one of the auto responses, but he didn't like it. He said, "Dumbest racist in Congress. Don't worry, we'll make sure it's your lady, you racist C-word." I'm not sure what all that means, but at this point, it feels like he got tired of just the misogyny and was like, I should throw in some racial stuff too. So he said, "Flip that weave some more when you speak, and it will probably fall off. Dumb racist C-word." And then this morning, he wrote, "Nasty racist, dumb C-word, rotten hell nasty B, you are bald, and that weave is fake and nasty." Now, faceless trolls send messages like this all the time, and I'm sure she's received her fair share. What's a little bit different here is he sent these all on Facebook, and he sent them from his publicly available personal Facebook account that has his name and his picture, in fact, multiple pictures, and where he lives. And between his name and where he lives and what he looks like, it was like super easy to find his LinkedIn, where he's listed as an incident management supervisor who works for Comcast in Westland, Michigan. Now, if you go looking for this right now, he's hidden this page. He got wise to it like an hour ago. But I saw all of this before he knew it was coming. And so, Sean, I do have a question. I saw pictures of you and your lovely wife, although the last picture of the two of you together is 2022, so I'm curious if you guys have split, only because some of the language that you're using. I feel like if anyone spoke to your wife, or say your mother, or a woman you cared about in that way, you would have a serious problem with it. I would hope you would. Yet you seemed real comfortable talking that way. So do you speak to your wife that way? How about the people you work with at Comcast? Do any of the women you work with at Comcast, do you speak to them that way?
Who sounds like the racist, dumb person? You can't make this stuff up. What makes you think you're better than someone else? If you're the one who's spewing all the hate, what is wrong with you? It makes no sense. And he's supporting that other person that's in that house that is white. And he's calling someone a racist and the C word. And then he's ridiculous enough to use his own personal Facebook account, which has his name and all his information that he shares freely with the world daily. And then I promise you that when someone messes with me, I do deep dive into the research and find everything out about you. I don't have anything to hide. So if you got something to hide and then you somebody's boss, man, you education, just memorizing passages from somebody's textbook that was created by one of those 13 families. So you don't know anything except what you memorize, man. So you're not really that intelligent. You have to use common sense. That shows your intellect, along with being able to memorize multiple passages of gibberish. Smart. Back to the video.
Listen, prejudice. If you hate. Prejudice, it's two different things. If I just like you because you're white, that's prejudice. All right?
Right, because you're prejudging
That's
who
right.
I am.
That's all that is. But if racism is the ability to control your fate and destiny, and we don't have that power. That's what he's sitting here talking about now.
And why do we have that power, Dick? We ain't got no money.
But, you know, okay? But, you know,
how do you get
I have to say, Mr. Ice-T.
How do you get the money? How do you get the money? You build. You don't become a
Rob the Federal Reserve
No,
Bank.
that is not how. And you don't become a president of a major corporation.
By now, I know everybody done seen old dude getting manhandled on that plane.
That's the last thing you're gonna do, man. No, ma'am.
You need to sit down.
No, you're not.
You need to sit down. Sorry.
See, he was acting real tough with the ladies, swinging his arms and calling them out their name, but little did he know that help was on the way.
Is there any other person that can help you put down? Swing your hands.
Look how he just developed manners out of nowhere. He slid out the way like, "Why, pardon me, sir, you shall pass. Let me make room." He said, "No, little buddy, finna about to go for this ride." Picked him up, armpit first. His light dimmed. His soul left his body. I bet his feet was just a dangling. And then he set him down like a toddler in a booster seat. And he stopped and just looked him in his eyes like, Father, is that you? He killed him. Another satisfying racial moment. But wait, there's more, because you're going to jail now.
So America's second civil war just began, if you didn't hear. Greg Abbott, governor of Texas, and Trump both agreed to send hundreds of National Guardsmen from Texas into Illinois because Illinois isn't doing too great. And Trump and Abbott completely disregarded Illinois' governor, J.B. Pritzker, his wishes, saying, I don't want this. I don't need it. I am a state. I can govern myself. That's how it's supposed to be. And the federal government's supposed to be a mediator when they can't. The federal government has a huge hand, and right now that hand is reaching across state lines and quite literally picking up troops and weapons and setting them in another state just to see what happens. There's no high crime rate in Illinois, specifically Chicago, more than there ever has been. As a matter of fact, they're at like a 5-year low. Coincidentally, so is DC. They're at a 30-year low, yet troops were still deployed. The same thing's about to happen in Portland, Oregon. But the thing about Portland, Oregon is they have slightly different laws up there because states have different laws. That's why we are here. We're a United States, but with different beliefs and laws. And when we can't agree, the federal government is supposed to mediate, not take over and dictate. But in Oregon, what's going to happen, I guarantee, is they're not going to pull troops outside of that state to deploy into that state. It's going to be Oregon National Guardsmen that are overseas getting pulled back home. And they will be the ones deployed in that state. And again, this is the federal government just reaching, picking, poking, just to see what happens, just to see what they can get away with. This civil war is going to escalate within the next week and a half. I guarantee it. And you had no fucking clue until just now.
Genius inventions that should exist everywhere. This is a toilet that allows you to be able to flush it with your foot. This floor is flat, but it was designed to help stop people running in the hallway. In this bathroom, they have lights above the stalls to indicate whether it's available or taken. This parking garage has lines going up the wall to help you see for parking. This car park has soft barriers between parking spaces to stop people scratching other cars. This is a Rubik's Cube made for blind people. This car wash has a water gun for kids to shoot soap suds at the cars going through the car wash. These urinals save water by having you wash your hands above to rinse it out after you're done. This dish soap lists the purpose for each ingredient. A school installed a CVS vending machine full of medicine and hygiene products. This store had an option to shop alone or with assistance. This menu is shaped like a circle showing you what the type of pizza would look like.
That's definitely tired, bro. That's for sure. You recording? Record this.
I see it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Why my job gave me a
Bro, where Mr. Richards at, bro? I'm done. That got me messed up.
That's crazy. What is happening now to solidify that it's coming? Well, it happened in Vietnam. 86 million people have no longer access to their banks because they refuse to comply with biometrical standards for digital identification. Denial by default. As of September 1st, 2025, banks across Vietnam are closing accounts deemed non-compliant to new biometric rules. Authorities estimate over 86 million accounts have been restricted. And the reason why this is all going on is because let's say the World Economic Forum, can we just force them to comply by restricting their bank accounts? Because if you have no money, what are you going to do? Eventually, you're going to comply. And if you don't, Vietnam can assert a martial law. They have no reason not to say, all you people who are trying to usurp this system by bartering or whatever, if we catch you doing that, you're going to jail. And that will force people to accept the digital system.
This is not something that is going to stay in Vietnam. This is a test because if we look at what's going on with the European Central Bank and digital ID initiative in Europe, as well as the Real ID being imposed in the United States, we can see that it is coming to us as well.
CERN just opened a portal, y'all.
And they're talking about this how they made contact with the Draco reptilians. And this has something to do with the 3-Eye Atlas. This shit crazy, fool. Why would you open a portal? Look at this shit, y'all.
And they've used the collider to open up a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings from 3-Eye Atlas. To be clear, CERN already has a room and a technology to open a portal to talk to extraterrestrials. Yes, but used it to communicate with the beings on 3-Eye Atlas.
If y'all interested in watching the full video, I'ma leave the name down below in the comments. This just part 1, y'all. This shit crazy, fool.
How does an object the size of Manhattan, New York just disappear off the radar for 19 minutes? And yes, I'm talking about the 3-Eye Atlas that they state that's headed towards Earth and is supposed to arrive in November. Now, since 3-Eye Atlas was spotted in July, they've had someone constantly watching this object as it travels through space. And we know it's not a comet because we've moved past that. This thing is ranging from 7 to 12 miles long. So how does something as large as that just disappear off the radar for 19 minutes and then comes back and then teleports somewhere else? And if that don't have you worried, they say that it was 7 other objects surrounding the 3-Eye Atlas when it made its appearance. 33 billion tons is the size that they claim 3-Eye Atlas is. If it's coming to Earth, where the hell is it gonna land? Cause if it's the size of Manhattan, it's definitely gonna crush some shit.
Y'all, watch the frequencies. All over the earth, weird stuff is happening that usually does not happen. We just had 3 blackouts on the Schumann frequency, or timeline shifts, as well as having that a few days ago. And just for a second, we're gonna get right back to this, but it's weird how the EPA canceled $20 million in flood protection for Alaska before this happened. And at the same exact time, we're having anomalies pop up everywhere. Volcanoes, these little ice discs are popping up in Serbia. No one even knows what's going on. Completely unrelated, I don't know if y'all remember me showing you how different frequency waves can manipulate and change the structure of water. Unrelated. But along with volcanoes going off, warnings of volcanoes about to go off, or other volcanoes looking like they're about to go off, we've literally been having magnetic anomalies all over the earth, as well as this really weird frequency pattern that we saw over Australia a few days ago. And again, completely unrelated from the blackouts on the Schumann frequency happening all the time right now. The Schumann resonance picks up the resonance of the earth. But of course, anything that measures frequencies can pick up other frequencies bilaterally. And frequencies are a really weird thing. Now, completely unrelated, we have the fires everywhere, the volcanoes, the crazy flooding, the typhoons, and even the hurricanes acting very weird this year. Speaking of frequencies, completely unrelated, it smells really bad. Ancient life frozen in Alaska for 40,000 years has been woken up. I wonder what's causing the ground and under the ground to heat up, don't you? Do remember, all things are frequency. That's not cliche or hipster. When it comes down to it, the base foundation of life is frequency. Now, completely irrelevant, the cool fact of the day. Did you know that metals are one of the things that are able to attract frequencies and energies and other things? And another cool fact of the day, completely unrelated, what is one thing that Alaska is known for? Anyways, I wonder why everything is going so crazy on the earth right now. Any ideas?
For the last century, there's been a quiet war on farming, and with digital IDs on the horizon, the end game is clear. Step by step, they've been forcing independent food producers off the land and centralizing the food system so that when the time comes, they control what you eat and when you eat it. Here's how it happens. After World War II, leftover chemical weapons were rebranded as pesticides. They destroyed soil health, wrecked fertility, and locked farmers into an endless cycle of higher costs and lower yields. To stop the system collapsing completely, the government stepped in with subsidies. They said it was to support farmers, but really it just propped up a broken model. Now, most farms can't survive without government handouts. Take those away, like they started doing with the closure of the sustainable farming incentive, and farms can't survive. Next came Class Q, the policy that automatically allowed agricultural barns to be converted into homes. Sounds great until you realize what it did. It turned working farms into lucrative housing plots, incentivizing farmers to sell to wealthy non-farming buyers and accelerating the loss of food-producing land. Next step, literally paying farmers to retire early. Yes, this is real. It was rolled out in the UK in 2022. 2022. Now they're covering prime farmland with solar panels while admitting that they're blocking out the sun through geoengineering. The sheer audacity of it, you couldn't make it up. And when you add all this together, independent farming is gone, the food system is centralized, and the people are completely dependent. Please understand, you won't be forced into a digital ID slave system at gunpoint. You'll simply be told, no ID, no food. And as scary as all this is, you don't need to worry because the solution is simple. We fight centralization with decentralization. Real, regenerative, independent farms run by communities who refuse to comply. And that's exactly why we've launched the Wild Minds Network. Whether you want to start your own farm or find one to support, we'll help you access the land, people, and resources you need to ensure that you keep your independence.
Okay, he said something about blocking out the sun for geoengineering. I have no idea what any of that means, but what I visualized was when you look up at what we used to say, look at the sky, the blue sky, and the yellow sun. I've not seen a yellow sun in so long, I don't know what one would look like. I think I used to take pictures. Excuse me, I'm a photographer. I always take pictures, and I remember the sky being like a fiery yellow at dusk. Okay, so I think the sun used to be yellow, at least back in the early 2000s. That's what I remember. So if they're blocking out the sun and leaving that white, bright light that's burning us up in the sky, that makes perfect sense. Then he mentioned farming in our communities. I would think that each neighborhood, like subdivision or whatever, would collaborate and help each other. We're already blocked off into groups, so why wouldn't we come together and help feed each other so that we won't be attacking each other, trying to STEAL food from each other's households when all this crap hits the fan? Man, what's happening? Where'd the sun go? Because it's not yellow, it's white. It don't make it right. There's a lot happening. Back to the video.
Okay, so did y'all know that in 2022 there was a pig's heart who was transplanted into 57-year-old David Bennett, who had a terminal heart disease, and he was ineligible for a traditional heart transplant, and he was able to survive for 2 more months with a pig's heart. I just stumbled upon the pig rabbit hole because I saw these theories about how pigs' eyes are so human-like, and warning, brace yourself if you like the bacon, the ham, and the sausage and the chops, because this is very much jarring. I had no idea that from heart valves to skin to organs, there are so many similarities between pigs and humans, to the point where they are used in life-saving human surgeries, to the point where right now scientists are using pigs' genes to try to make custom organs. I had no idea that this was going on, did y'all? Because at this point, I've always known that they've considered pigs unclean and unnatural, but I didn't realize it was to this extent, because when you look at the skin of a pig, to an extent it is very much human-like, and the eyes, they seem so unnatural. They literally look like human eyes. What are y'all thoughts on this? Have y'all ever seen this? Let me know if you have. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't, save this video, go look into it, come back, let me know what you think. Per usual, this is all alleged. I was just looking into these reports, wanted to share it with you, pick your brain. Whatever else comes out, I'll be back with more updates, but I can't confirm or deny any of this, but I implore you to do your research. Like, follow, stay for some more tea.
Why did Building 7 collapse after just 7 hours of burning, in a way that no steel frame building anywhere in the world has ever collapsed? Professor Leroy Hulsey of the University of Alaska at Fairbanks conducted an independent study whose findings were released in 2020. Professor Hulsey found that office fires of the kind in Building 7 on 9/11 could not have produced sufficient thermal expansion to cause the crucial girder to fail. It's impossible, he found. One group of scientists did collect and test 4 samples of dust and debris collected by a Manhattan resident about 10 minutes after the collapse of the Second World Trade Center tower. In those samples, the scientists found distinctive red-gray chips full of highly energetic and thermitic material. In other words, they found traces of explosive compounds.
Oh my God! Son of a bitch! Jesus Christ!
I told you to stay away! God!
Hey, packages.
Oh, he made it. Oh, shit.
Well, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you for joining T as Ditto Reacts. I told you I had some good stuff for you, and I believe that I have brought you information that you did not know, and I think that that is very special. I really, really, really want you to join my team because the doggone pigs, they put pigs in here. They're giving you pudding and turning it into a meatloaf. There's things that's floating in the atmosphere that are the size of Manhattan, and it's doomed to come to the Americas, the world. I don't know. It's gonna be here in November. The sun is being blocked out. I don't know what. None of this makes any sense. What are they doing to us? We are not lab rats. I am not. They put a cat in teriyaki sauce to season it, and then they're gonna shape that stuff up and serve it to you in your. I remember back in the day, in the 80s, they were claiming that cat food was cat meat was in the food that was prepared by other nationalities. I'm not gonna say it. I stopped eating chicken fried rice a long time ago. I just eat short fried rice, but I don't even know if those are real. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining me. Glad you were here. One thing I always say, don't forget me now. Come back. I got more for you coming. Bye.